If you are not at the table, you are on the menu. Harsh little sentence, isn't it? Good. It should hurt. Because some of you walk through life like unpaid interns in your own story, smiling too fast, apologizing too early, offering too much, wondering why the room keeps eating you alive. You thought being harmless would make you loved. You thought being available would make you respected. You thought if you stayed soft enough, patient enough, understanding enough, the world would eventually say, "Ah, there you are, the good one, the loyal one, the one we should protect." It does not work like that. The world notices weight. It notices usefulness. It notices discipline. It notices skill. It notices calm pressure. It notices people who can carry more than their own feelings. And you, maybe you are tired now. Tired of being the emotional donation box in every relationship. Tired of being remembered only when someone needs a ride, an answer, a favor, a shoulder, a little piece of your time to chew on. Start being valuable. Not loud, not fake, not arrogant. Valuable. Learn something. Build something. Finish something. Hold your word like it costs blood. Walk into a room with less need leaking from your eyes. Because pity is not power. Potential is not value. Good intentions alone are not value. Value is what remains when charm dies, when excuses run out, when nobody claps, when nobody watches, when life gets inconvenient and you still stand there, useful, clean, sharp, calm, terrifyingly real. So no, this is not about becoming cruel. It is about becoming difficult to dismiss. First, stop confusing affection with respect. Those are not twins. Sometimes they are not even cousins. A person can like you and still not take you seriously. A family member can love you and still speak over you, delay you, minimize you, use your softness like furniture. A friend can laugh with you, call you brother, put an arm around your shoulder, and still never trust you with anything important because somewhere deep down he has measured you and found no weight. That hurts, doesn't it? The little humiliation of realizing you were welcomed but not valued, invited but not relied on, loved in the way people love pillows, old songs, harmless pets, background comfort. You know the look they give the person who is always around but never decisive, always nice but never sharp, always emotional but never useful under pressure. A man loses his job and suddenly the family starts listening to the cousin who knows how to solve things, not the cousin who knows how to talk about feelings for 3 hours. A friend group has fun with the funny one all year, but when a crisis hits, they call the steady one who knows what to do. At work, everyone smiles at the warm coworker, but the room changes when the competent one enters. That is not cruelty. That is gravity. And gravity does not negotiate with your wounded self-image. It pulls towards substance. So ask yourself a question ugly enough to wake you up. When the lights flicker, when the plan breaks, when the pressure rises, what exactly do you bring besides feelings? Can you think clearly? Can you organize chaos? Can you solve? Can you carry? Can you be trusted with money, timing, truth, responsibility, silence? Start there. Because respect is rarely spoken first. It is measured, quietly, coldly, repeatedly. And once people feel your weight, affection changes too. It becomes cleaner, less casual, less patronizing, less insulting in disguise. Stop begging to be included. Become the kind of presence that changes the standard of the room. Second, understand this before life teaches it with its knee on your chest. Kindness without competence becomes self-erasure. I know, that sounds cruel. Good. Truth usually arrives with bad bedside manners. You can be sincere, generous, patient, forgiving, gentle with people's weaknesses, careful with their dignity, beautiful in your intentions, and still be treated like spare cloth if you do not know how to produce value in the real world. A man tells everyone he has a good heart, but he cannot keep time, cannot keep a promise, cannot manage money, cannot finish what he starts. A woman pours care into everyone around her, but she lives in confusion, depends on others for every serious decision, folds under discomfort, and wonders why people only come to cry on her shoulder, but never build with her. Because hearts are precious, yes. But in daily life, people trust structure. They trust results. They trust steadiness. You do not need to become hard to become valuable. You need to become capable. Learn to repair something. Learn to sell, write, build, teach, organize, plan, analyze, remember, lead, endure, manage pressure, hold silence, tell the truth without trembling. Learn one thing so well that your presence begins to save time, reduce chaos, create relief. Relief is expensive. People remember relief. They remember the one who made the mess smaller. They remember the one who remained useful while others remained dramatic. And no, this is not soulless. It is honorable. Because becoming capable means you can serve better, protect better, give cleaner, speak less, and mean more. The world is full of loud, fragile people demanding significance they have not built. Do not become one of them. Let your value rise so quietly that one day absence starts speaking for you. Let people feel the difference when you are not there to steady the floor, to clarify the fog, to carry the ugly part nobody wanted. That is when kindness stops looking weak. That is when kindness becomes weight. Third, stop performing need in public and then wondering why the world prices you cheaply. Need has a smell. It does. Not financial need only, emotional need, approval need, validation need, the desperate little hunger to be seen, chosen, praised, reassured, answered immediately, taken seriously before you have become serious. People pretend not to notice it because naming it is rude, but they feel it. They feel it in the person who talks too much to prove intelligence, in the one who over-explains every choice, in the one who rushes to answer every silence as if quiet itself were rejection. You say you want respect, but then you argue with every misunderstanding, explain every intention, chase every cold mood, volunteer every insecurity, put your whole emotional skeleton on the table and call it honesty. No, that is leakage. Valuable people do not make others carry their self-worth. They do not walk into a room saying, "Please believe in me before I've given you a reason." They move differently. They speak with less panic. They let some things remain misunderstood. They let weak people gossip. They let results do part of the talking. A man at work is ignored until the numbers begin bending around his discipline. A son in a family is mocked as long as he is a promise, then suddenly spoken to carefully the month he becomes reliable with money, timing, obligations, presence. A friend who was once the emotional clown becomes difficult to trivialize after he learns restraint. Now his no lands heavier because it no longer comes from mood, it comes from structure. This is not about becoming cold theater. It is about reducing unnecessary explanation. Let your effort, precision, and standard create a field around you. Let people work a little to understand you. Because when you explain everything, offer everything, react to everything, you teach the world that access to you is cheap, and cheap things get handled carelessly. Pull your energy inward. Build, improve, observe. Let your value mature in quiet until even your silence starts sounding expensive. Fourth, value is born in private long before it is recognized in public. That is the part fragile people hate. They want the visible reward without the invisible ritual. They want confidence without repetition, status without sacrifice, respect without boredom, strength without discipline, composure without self-control. Childish trade. Life does not accept it. What you repeat in private becomes what others feel in public. If you lie to your own schedule, break small promises to yourself, keep saying tomorrow with that tired little smile, keep starting and quitting and starting and quitting, do not be surprised when your presence feels soft at the edges. People may not know why, but they sense the looseness. They sense the untrained will. The opposite is true too. The person who wakes up when he said he would, learns when nobody praises him, keeps his room, keeps his notes, keeps his word, keeps his body under some degree of command, keeps showing up without dramatic announcements. That person begins to carry a strange atmosphere, even before money, even before fame, even before visible success. Because discipline changes the eyes. It changes the pauses between words. It changes how much panic leaks into the mouth. Look at ordinary life. The student nobody notices becomes quietly dangerous after a year of real study. Now he no longer begs teachers for mercy because he has built competence. The young man treated like a joke in his own house slowly changes the family tone, not by speeches, but by becoming dependable every day until excuses stop fitting him. The employee everyone interrupted starts being heard when she becomes the one who always arrives prepared, always catches the missing detail, always saves the team from embarrassment. It looks magical from the outside,